Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the L3R3 podcast with myself, Matt Likes Games, our day's Mike, and it's me, Twan. Before we get into any topics, we're going to talk about what we've been playing.
Mhm.
So, whoever wants to go first on that, get us started.
I'll
You can
go
play
first,
Twan.
actually. Yeah, because I actually haven't been playing any like modern consoles recently. I've kind of like been on like, look,
The one that's not so bad.
yeah, well, no, not that one specifically, but what I got recently actually was a Raspberry Pi, and
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, so I got one of those, but I didn't get it for like emulation or anything like that. What I did get it for is how like old consoles use dial-up, like for online and all that kind of stuff. Because back then, that was just what it was, right? Dial-up was just
Yeah.
the norm
I mean,
back
you
then.
also still use that to this day. So yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
it's. I mean,
Yeah.
technically, you could still use dial-up. Like, you could actually use a dial-up
I mean, what
service
do you
today.
mean?
Oh, we
Technically, you
know.
are.
We
Yeah.
know.
You
We
use
know.
you use it.
Yeah.
We know you
But yeah,
But
go
can.
on.
anyways, that aside, so basically I got that Raspberry Pi, and basically what it does is it connects to my internet, and then I can connect that to my Dreamcast, and that stimulates the dial-up, and I could play games online through the Dreamcast. And it's so cool because I actually know a lot of other friends that have this up and running too, and we're just playing games online through the Dreamcast, and a cool thing to do. Playing on a console from 1999, just playing online games. We're playing like Quake 3 Arena. We're playing freaking Fantasy Star Online, Choo Choo Rocket, and even like Fantasy Star Online specifically. Like last night, we were up till 4 in the morning playing that game. That game is just so fun, man. Like it's actually crazy how addictive that game is. And yeah, like even right now, like I just want to like I'm just I just want to play that again with him because we had like a whole squad going, right? And it's basically like you just kind of go into dungeons. You just like I said, have a party of like 4 people, and you were just talking, obviously through the Discord, but you could even text through the keyboard as well, which is pretty cool as well. And yeah, I mean, great game, like it's so addictive. But anyway, that game aside, I even got the Sega Saturn online as well. That's a console from 1995, and there's another Discord server where people are setting that up through obviously through Discord, right? They have like meetups, and like it's like, oh, let's start a game, right? And so yeah, we've been setting that up. I'm playing Saturn Bomberman online. I'm playing Sega Rally online, and it's so crazy. Like it actually works really well. Like I have like COD matches that run worse than the games I'm running on a Sega Saturn. Like it's actually crazy how well this thing actually works. Because it's not like it connected to a server. It's like directly peer to peer. So that's just how it functions. It's all like locally hosted. You can do some port forwarding and all that kind of stuff. But man, it was just so cool to see, and just seeing like on my CRT, because after at the end of the matches, there's like a post game chat, and just seeing this guy text me like online through the Sega Saturn on my CRT. I don't know, it just gave me goosebumps. Like it was just crazy just seeing that.
Gave
I
me
don't know,
goosebumps. I love that.
like honestly gave me goosebumps. Like it was just crazy to see that.
Ugh,
But
you're an odd fellow. Keep going. Keep going. I'm kidding.
but yeah, man,
Changed his life.
yeah, but
Yeah.
it's just
Right.
but
Oh
yeah,
my
it's just
god.
honestly, man, mine as well, because it unlocked like a new whole hobby in this whole fucking thing, right? It's just so cool, man. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much what I've been doing. That's my latest obsession. And by the way, this gameplay is like I could count the pixels. Like it's just so
Oh, is it really bad? Oh, I bet you I know why. I
yeah.
bet you I know why. It's probably because I got a lot of YouTube stuff open.
Yeah, try to get that sorted out. But anyways, let's move on. I could ramble about this all day. So, all right, Mike, you're up.
All right. As I put a handful of trail mix in my mouth. Good timing, Twan. But
Eat it. Eat it. Eat it. Sorry.
as Matt
Go
knows,
ahead, Mike.
we've both been playing a ton of Destiny 2 just
I
the other
haven't.
day. Matt, shut your dirty mouth and you smell bad. Anyways,
It's not true. It's not true. It's not true.
we've been playing a ton of that. I recently beat the Final Shape story. And I beat it that time. I beat it in its entirety. That was a great experience. Definitely the best expansion I've played from what I've played in that game. I've been having a complete blast with that. I've been playing it like almost nonstop. I've already 100 hours on it, and that's just in a few weeks' time. So yes, it's a problem. But outside of that, I recently got the newest Earth Defense Force. To those of you that don't know, I am a massive Earth Defense Force fan. Like I adore.
I know that.
that.
Trust me.
Yeah, like I adore Earth Defense Force. To me personally,
Wasn't getting like
one of,
review bombed or something? Like
yeah, because apparently the Epic Games version of it needs Epic Games for it to be crossplay. You know, I mean, you have to sign into the thing, and they didn't have it on the Steam page, but they actually had it on their website. But they, you know, that's once again for crossplay. Like I didn't even know because I don't play Earth Defense Force online. I play it split screen if I play it with somebody else, so I didn't even know, and I don't even give a fuck. So I'm not even gonna pretend I really do at that point. But apparently they're trying to find, they're gonna, like, I guess, remove it. You know, you can't play with Epic Games, but all 7 people on Epic Games will be heartbroken in Japan. But from a narrative standpoint, that one's definitely the best one they've ever made. It's fantastic. It's actually really entertaining and interesting, and I'm actually listening for the dialogue now because there's a lot going on. I don't want to spoil it either. I mean, you learn about what's going on very early on, but I wasn't expecting it at all. And I don't want to really spoil it for anyone else because in Earth Defense Force games, you don't fucking pay attention to the story. You just get in there, you got your guy with a gun, and your job is to kill giant insects and giant robots and send those fuckers back to where they came from. Space.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not really supposed to think about anything else. But, you know, this time I'm actually like thinking of all these theories about what the hell's going on, and it's like actually really engaging. It's like the most fun I've had with the game. That series in a long time. Like Earth Defense Force 5, I thought it was fine. I thought it was fun, but I kind of just got, I don't know, a little fatigued kind of by what I was playing, even though once again, it's just that narrative change and like a different feeling, and that's kind of what the series needed, in my opinion. The American spin-offs, or the Western spin-offs, I should say, didn't really, they tried to capture the feeling of EDF while making it a bit more serious, but they didn't capture it correctly because they overdid it a little too much. Without kind of keeping a little tongue in cheek and a little bit cheesy, because that's what makes it, you know, EDF. And I think they actually struck that balance right here. And I'm having a fucking blast with that game. It's so much fun. It's like I've already have like, how many hours we got in this game? Let's take a look. That just came out on Thursday. I already got 15 hours on that. And that's a lot for me. Like a lot for me. Because usually I can't sit down for more than 5 minutes to play a game without like getting antsy and stop playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fantastic time so far. And I really hope and apparently it was the best EDF release on Steam, period. It had the highest amount of players in one sitting, which I guess was like 15,000, which doesn't sound like a lot, but for this series,
yeah, it's a lot for like a niche. Yeah.
I'll never forget when I was a kid and I found Earth Defense Force 2017 on a Toys R Us game shelf and looking at the case and going, "What the f is this?" I'm like, "What the hell is this game?"
It's just fucking,
Matt, can you bring up an image of that case? Can you do that?
Can I bring up an image of?
Just throw it on the live stream, just so the audience has
2017's case,
so they have a visual.
Let's see. Earth Defense Force 2017.
Xbox 360.
Let's see. Share my screen.
It's just porn. Yeah, but no, but seriously, when did this come out again?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate you. All right, when did this game even come out? I'm trying to remember what year this came out. When was it? 2000.
I mean, this is 23 years ago, right here.
Oh my god!
No way. It came out in 2006.
There's no way 2017 was 23 years ago.
No.
Yeah, no.
Thank you, Juan. This came out in 2006, so I played this when I was like 12, like around 12 years old. I think I played a little bit after release. I remember seeing that case.
So is this what they thought 2017 was going to be like?
Probably. And dude, I was like, this case goes fucking hard as a child. Like, I never heard this. And I remember picking up the case, walking to my father and be like, I want it. I'm like, I don't want a toy. I want this. I wasn't even playing with toys at that point. Toys R Us used to be our only point to like get games locally. Fun fact. And that was like a 40, 50-minute drive. There was a time CVS used to sell video games. That's a long, different story. That's a crazy timeline to think of. Yeah, but I remember, man, this game series has always been insanely special to my heart ever since I played it. It's a cheesy, good time, and I really recommend. You can pick up any one of them, at least the mainline titles, and you'll have a good time. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Honestly, I kind of want to just buy this game just for that cover art alone. Honestly,
right? It goes hard, dude. It really does.
I think I just ordered a copy on eBay right now.
You
did? Yeah.
That's hysterical. I'm proud of you.
I looked at that. I literally just looked at it. I was like, I'm sold. Like,
I fucking love that. Thank you, Twan. Enjoy though, dude. Like, are you gonna play it? Like, are you actually gonna play it?
I might. We'll see.
You might. Oh my god. No, but seriously though, if you do, I hope you enjoy it.
Hey, if you have a 360 lying around, I mean, I'd be down.
That game actually is backwards compatible.
Is it actually?
It works on the Series X and it runs at an
awesome. That's even better. Even better.
So it'll run at 60 FPS on the Series X compared to the 12 FPS of the Xbox 360. But I still thought it was the greatest thing ever made.
I'd be down to link up.
Yeah, dude, I'd fucking absolutely be down to play that, dude. Holy shit. Yeah, so when you get that, hit me up for playing it.
Yeah, luckily it's only like $20 anyway, so it wasn't that big of a.
Holy shit, it's $20. God damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's all I've been playing, man. I've been having such a good time with that game. And I recommend other people to check out the series. That's it.
Nice.
All right.
Nice. Sounds good.
That makes
as for myself, I mean, goodness gracious. I've pretty much only been playing Destiny 2. I've tried to, because before I was playing First Ascendant and Cyberpunk, and I was doing a pretty good job of playing both of those games. And then Destiny 2, and I haven't played much of Cyberpunk, except for the past couple of days. I've been trying to play more of it. But really, for the most part, it's just been Destiny 2. See, I'm trying to think if there's like something I'm not thinking of that maybe I booted up. But like, it's really just Destiny 2. So there's not really a whole lot to say. I'm really enjoying it. Once upon a time, I was hooked on the game, and I'm pretty much hooked on the game again.
Destiny 2.
Did Ham figure out the DLC thing last night?
Yeah, he had to just.
It works.
He just had to kill an enemy.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
He just had to kill an enemy, like walking around or whatever. And
that's hysterical.
Wait, what is this, like DLC not working or something? Like what?
Well,
no, there was a weird objective that he had that Destiny, being awesome, Bungie, being the awesome developers that they are, they don't explain really what you have to do. They just tell you gotta cleanse. You gotta cleanse the fuckity fucks, the whatever. And
so he already had it collected, which means he had to go kill probably so and so on the moon, didn't he? Or was it off the moon? Was that the one where he had to go to the EDZ and kill like the fuck? That was probably it. Son of a bitch.
All I know is after you left the party, I hopped in his game. We rode down like a little bit down the moon, and there was an event, and we joined the event, and we killed the boss, and he got the thing.
What the hell? Okay,
that's all I know. So he did that. I think he's still playing Shadowkeep, because I saw he put up today, like for 9:30, a Shadowkeep stream. So I'm pretty sure he's still in Shadowkeep. So
was he having fun though?
Yeah, he was enjoying it. We played. I think we only got to play like 1 or 2 missions before he had to go to bed, but yeah, it was fun. Destiny's awesome.
Strikes, boys.
Yeah, I'd be down. I'd be lying if I said I'm not doing that right now, but I'd be down to play that literally anytime. So probably after the show, honestly. But there is a show, and there are topics, and there is a pretty big one, which is the Xbox
Why Michael's the
360
best.
Shore. No, that's not true. Don't listen to that.
Huh.
The the Xbox 360 store coming to a close.
Coming.
Well, it's
I'm
gone.
sorry.
It's-
Go
it's-
on, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, man, I was so depressed because I was like, "Is this still up?" And I was like searching like Sonic 06
No,
on
it's-
through Xbox the store, and then I was like, it just nothing showed up. Like I clicked on it, and it just
not.
showed me to the homepage. And I'm like, "Fuck, it's gone." Like you can't even like access the 360 store through the web browser anymore. Like it's gone.
Yeah.
Really, you can't.
Yeah.
I wanted to. Oh, that's sad.
Like it's just
Rest in
fucking
peace.
gone. I'm just glad I bought Assault Heroes before, like the day before, because like that was one game I really want to make sure I had on my library before everything went gone.
His library.
Did you
Yeah.
guys see GameStop like quote tweeted I think it was like Dexerto about the 360 marketplace shutting down, and they're like, this is why you should always buy physical, and I'm just like, well, you can still play the games.
Yeah, they'll still work. I mean,
Like the games still work. It's
Yeah.
it's essentially going to be the same thing when GameStop shuts down in like 5
I'm about to
years.
say, it's like the thing that's funny is they're trying to like say you should really come back to us when like literally any other option's a better option to buy a game from.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like when I think of GameStop, I don't even think of buying like games anymore. That's why I don't
Yeah,
go
it's
to
just pop
GameStop.
figures. You go in there, just pop figures, T-shirts. You know, it's just
Yeah.
it's like where are the games. You know,
Like the last time I went to a GameStop and had fun was probably like the midnight release for like Halo 4.
Can I give you
Probably.
my experience the last time I went to a GameStop before we get into the topic, or is that too off
Yeah,
topic?
go ahead.
Yeah, go for it.
My
Man.
last experience going to a GameStop was a fucking nightmare. Let me tell you why. So I'm a man that plays a lot of Doom Eternal, and I'm pretty rough on my controllers. I'm really rough on a lot of things like that. So one day, the back paddle of my controller snaps off. I promise you, it wasn't done in a fit of rage. It literally just snapped off. I was playing Doom Eternal. I just did a dash, and it just cracked right off.
Nice.
Like, oh shit. Well, this is why I have a warranty, though. Like, I don't mind paying for the warranty because I kill controllers like it's my job.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I call them like, hey, yeah, I got a broken controller. They're like, all right, well, the thing is that you're gonna need, the policy is that we have to give you a used controller of the same type. I'm like, wait, I don't get a new one? They're like, no, you don't. I'm like, okay, do
That's
you guys
cool.
even have a used one of this type? No, we don't.
Hmm.
I'm like, okay, so how am I gonna be able to get a refund on this? Like, they're like, can you get like a different one? I'm like, no, I got this one because it's most comfortable for me. I don't want to use anything else. I want to use the one that's comfortable for me. And they're like, well, it doesn't work that way. And I'm like, well, it's gonna have to work that
Yeah.
way.
It doesn't work that way.
I mean, what did you buy
I
the
said-
warranty for?
And then I said, it's gonna have to work that way because I bought the warranty for
I'm
that
sorry,
product.
sir. It doesn't work that way.
And then he was gonna be honest. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a new hire and I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I'm sorry. I'm like, it's fine.
He's
I'll
just
call.
winging it.
Like,
Yeah.
he's like, I'm gonna call, because he wasn't like, he didn't say it as hostile as I made it sound, but I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I paid like $60 for this warranty, so I'm gonna get that controller.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm not gonna fucking freak out at people, but I'm gonna get what I paid. So I have to go through GameStop, the whole return process, and then it's like, yeah, you're gonna have to get it sent to a warehouse. I'm like, what the fuck's a GameStop warehouse? How do I even do that? So then I have to go through a whole thing with like GameStop's customer
In the
service
back of a
center.
McDonald's.
Dude, like it might be in some drug addict's house for all I fucking know. They're probably send me to get me murdered. And it was just it was a god awful. It was just so bad, dude. It was so many back and forths. But the people at the store though I was talking to were so unbelievably sweet though. And they were even trying to like help me like get around the system in a few ways to like just give me the fucking control. You know what I mean? They're trying to speed it up so many ways, but they just couldn't, unfortunately. And that's not their fault. But yeah, that was my last experience, and it like took me like 3 weeks just to get the. I know, yeah, I didn't even get the controller exactly in the end. What they gave me was a digital like gift card, right?
Mhm.
And then I had to wait for it to be in stock on the website for me to order. It fucking sucked. It really fucking sucked. That's all I got to say. That's my last experience with GameStop.
Well,
But yeah,
there it is. GameStop is the pinnacle of customer service, and they know what the customers want. And Ham says in the chat, last time I went to GameStop, I bought a game because I'm a real gamer. I mean, well,
didn't
I
they
think I
lose
got
it
Got
in
a.
the
us.
mail or
I
something?
think I think I got a game last time I was at GameStop too, but that
I
doesn't
mean,
make
I
it
had to,
good.
I had to like ask them, be like, "Hey, where are the games?" You know, that's that's what I had to do. I was like, because I just couldn't find it. I couldn't find any games because all the fucking the shit that they had in front with all the figurines and shit.
Dude,
And they're like, "Oh yeah, we have some games in the back," you know. And I looked in the back. I'm like, "Oh, I want that," and I
that's
bought it.
nuts.
I,
Dude,
I,
I
had to,
haven't.
I literally had to go in the back, and you have to like open up this door, and I was like, "Oh, there are the games." Like it was wild.
Secret compartment
Yeah,
where GameStop stores its games.
yeah. Yeah.
Uh, I don't remember the last time was it wasn't in the last 5 years. I know that it definitely wasn't this generation. I can for sure say that last time I was in a GameStop, and I have no real reason to go back. But this whole conversation started with the Xbox 360 marketplace, and I wanted to bring it
Mhm.
up because I'm assuming you, Tuan, got a few things from the marketplace before it closed. I
I
know
mean,
I didn't
yeah, I bought a
because
few even
most
games before, and then, but most of them are backwards compatible though. Like the most of the ones I really care about are backwards compatible. But luckily, I've got some. The problem with the 360 store is that a lot of the licenses were expiring on that store anyways, and a lot of the developers didn't even bother renewing it because they're like, it's a 20-year-old store that they don't see the value in doing that. So a lot of the games got
yeah
delisted regardless. So it didn't really make much sense to keep it up because it
yeah
was only 11 year. I think it was 11 years that they have until they have to renew the licenses. But like I said, if the game's not backwards compatible, it's like why are they going to renew the license to keep it up on a console that's yeah, like I said, like 20 years old now almost. So I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
It's a
like I
good
said, most of
question.
the games, yeah, most of the games I did buy have already were already delisted before this shutdown. So I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, the only ones that I got were some of the first party, like the games that like Microsoft themselves published. Like I said, I got Assault Heroes. That was the last one I bought because I think that one's not backwards compatible yet. And that was a game I remember fondly of back in the day. So I wanted to make sure I had that. And yeah, that was really the only one I went on my way to get because, like I said, most of the heavy hitters at least are backwards compatible anyways, right? And I
yep.
already have most of them. Like it's 20 years. I already got most of the stuff I wanted. So
And Mike,
yeah.
you definitely didn't get anything. Do you even have a 360 at this point?
I mean, I have a 360, but I didn't
Oh
get
shit,
anything.
damn.
No.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
but yeah,
same. I like most of the things I want to play on a 360. I own via backwards compatibility, and
Yeah.
like even if there's stuff I don't own, I would rather honestly like if I'm gonna buy a game on my 360, I'll probably just buy the disc somewhere. I'll
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
just buy the disc somewhere. I'm not gonna get it digitally through this 360 marketplace.
Yeah, man. It takes so long to actually download stuff off that store. It's actually crazy.
It
Like,
does. I remember trying it when I got because I got a 360 last summer, and I remember trying to download a bunch of my games, and it's just
it
I
could take
didn't even bother because it took so fucking long.
yeah,
I
it was like
didn't even
6 hours
bother.
to download a fucking 1 gigabyte of like content. It was
I
crazy.
remember one time on the 360, dude. I went to school. I was downloading the Halo Wars demo. I was so excited to play it when I got home. It was like a gigabyte download, only a gigabyte.
A
And I
gigabyte might as well
remember,
be like a whole day of like a whole
and I
afternoon.
remember when I got home, I saw the download was at like 8%. I heard, I'm sorry, we had to use the internet to look at like this funny one of those websites that like those like funny meme websites when you just open the page and it was like like a fucking like a GIF or something, right? Like that stuff. Like there was this one
Mhm.
I remember my mom specifically used to love that was Anyway, that's a side story. But it was like, yeah, and I wanted to look at my emails, and I forgot to look at my emails, and I forgot to plug your Xbox back in, and it was another like night and a half I had to wait for it to actually download.
Mhm.
I do not miss those times of slow internet and a
Yeah,
360.
yeah. I mean, like I was using it the other day because I was downloading some games, and I'm like, man, how did we deal with this back then? Like, it's like I now because I remember even back on the PS3. I think the PS3 was worse.
Dude, the
personally.
PS3 was worse. Dude,
Yeah,
the
because
PS...
you have to download it and then you have to install after too. You know.
Dude, I tried to boot up God of War, what's it, Ascension, and it took it like it had to install like 30 fucking different things, and it took forever for like each. It was annoying.
It's an awful.
And like, don't even get me started on the PSP. The PSP was so bad. Like, you download something and then you have to leave it, and sometimes it would even fail, and you got to redo it. Like, it's just oh my gosh. Like a PS3 was kind
Oh
of
my
similar.
god, you're right.
Well, yeah, like it
Yeah.
was so bad. The PSP. Like, oh God forbid you had to download like a large game. You know, because
Yeah.
you'd have that sitting. I remember we used to have it sitting up next to the router because you try to want to get it done as soon as possible. And then we'd look after like 5 hours. It's like we're like, damn it, because it was like air, and then it didn't. This says like network issue or something, and then you got to restart that from the beginning. No other way around it.
You got to hardwire your PSP.
Yeah, somehow. And then the PS3 was, like I said, it was kind of a similar setup. But like I remember even like having to put a game in the background if you wanted to download it. You had to like set up to the background. Even that would take some time to even set up, and it was just so wonky. Like at least the 360, like obviously it was slow, but at least it had a proper like download menu. Like where it stored like all the downloads and it would queue them and all that kind of stuff. Like the PS3 didn't know how to do that. Like that was like, too advanced for it.
Yeah, that's a cell processor, bud.
Yeah.
Power of the cell.
That's for the power of the cell, the power of Mark Cerny, the power of PlayStation.
And then the worst is when you boot up a PS3 game and you got to update it. It's like, oh,
that I don't even want to play. I don't even want to play at that point. I'm all set. I don't even need to play. I'll just play something else.
Yeah. The updates on PS3 were the worst. I think 360. I feel like 360 did updates a lot better. But
it
yeah,
did.
Yeah.
It did. But I brought up the whole 360 thing to ask because it is a sad day.
It's very, and that's the day. It's the mental day, man. It's 20, like over 19 years this thing was up for.
Yeah. So like, it's obviously a sad day, but I want to ask each of you your favorite memory on the 360.
Like just like 360 in general?
In general. Your favorite like, I mean, I'm assuming it's gaming related. Like, as opposed to like, I want
to watch Netflix.
Wait. Being 15 years old and getting death threats from people in their 40s because I killed them in Call of Duty. That's my favorite. And a voice message in their microphone.
Yeah, the voice messages were like peak fucking internet.
Dude, just the most unhinged shit I will ever experience in video gaming, like ever. My buddy audio recorded one that someone sent him a long time ago, and he'll send it to me like, Mike, do you remember this? And I'm like, that guy is so fucking insane. Oh, I'm sorry about it. Continue though. I had to bring that up. God damn.
All right, you're fine. I was asking what your favorite memory from the 360. Either one of you.
What about you?
Oh yeah, I guess I'll go then. Yeah, I mean, honestly, man, I just miss those like unhinged Call of Duty lobbies, man. Like that shit was just unfiltered. Like no one gave two shits. It was it was like that time when online gaming was really kicking off and people were everyone had like shitty mics, and I don't know. I feel like it kind of adds to a charm. Like everyone almost had the same voice because like I don't know. I feel like those mics just had a hard time picking up like I don't know, unique voices, I guess. So everyone just kind of sounded the same.
Yeah, and also Microsoft. That was like the generation after Microsoft, and they still kind of did it during the 360 as well. Yeah. But like the whole marketing for the original Xbox was just being an asshole online. It was just being a piece of shit online.
Yeah, I mean, even like those Dark Master Xbox Live promo videos. It was just,
I love that commercial, dude.
It's just telling you like how you could just smack talk people online. That's literally the whole.
And mask your voice to get away with it. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, They're like training psychopaths.
It's like, yeah, you can just tell this guy to screw off, you know? It's like,
Oh, that's
Say
Yeah.
whatever you want.
yeah.
see
Yeah,
whatever you want,
we're
buddy.
not gonna ban you. You're all good.
Oh no, you got away with anything back then.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, has anyone actually got banned on the OG Xbox for like being like a racist or something? I don't think
you
anyone-
got to be a horrible person to get
like I
banned.
don't think a banned like Xbox OG Xbox exists. Like I don't think that's ever happened before.
You
Dude,
got
if
to
you
be
got
a
banned on the
terrible,
OG
terrible
Xbox,
person.
you had to be like an
you
active,
had to, you literally had to be like
threat
Hitler
to the
himself. Like, yeah,
You have to be a serial killer or something.
I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
You must be like an active threat to humanity if you got banned off the original Xbox. Like on a list somewhere, man. Like, there's no way. Like, because 90% of the time, like, the people that even was able to afford or play online during those days were probably unhinged anyways. So if someone was reporting you, they're like, this guy needs help.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But yeah.
Even the 360, obviously 360, you know, people got banned on the 360, but it wasn't like the OG Xbox was like a free for all. But like the OG Xbox was still like not as filtered as it is today. But because you know, you even had those messages, right, where people would send you messages like their pre-recorded ones, and it would just be like some guy just talking smack or something, you know. It's just this classic. But yeah, man, it was just yeah, it's just a different era, you know. And I even just loved just the party chat. Like the party, they really nailed the party chat on the 360. That was the first time a console just finally got it right. Like even the PS3 never had that either. I remember like because I used to use the PS3 a lot.
It's wild that the PS3 never got party. Like it never got party chat. That was only PS4, right?
Yeah, PS4 is when I actually got proper party
That's
chat.
so nuts that they went that whole generation
like
without
Don't
implementing
you
a
worry,
party
the
chat
PS Vita
system.
had it, buddy. Don't you worry.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it did. The PS
the PS
party
Vita
chat.
got party chat before that, or maybe that was Passion after. I don't remember, but
no, before the PS4. Yep, it was before the PS4.
That's
party
hilarious.
Chat. I remember that very distinctively.
I'm sorry.
Completely ass backwards.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, because like you have to. I remember you have to like go in Call of Duty lobbies to actually like do voice chat because like you can only do the in-game ones, right? It wasn't
which
like,
is terrible.
like, yeah,
nobody, dude. I remember playing Call of Duty on PlayStation 3, and nobody was like. I mean, the games I got, and nobody was like nobody had a mic on PS3.
Yeah, because it was even wonky to set up. Like you couldn't like directly plug it in either. You had to usually have a Bluetooth one. Or
I remember we had like a Bluetooth headset,
and usually those would be pretty shit as well. It's just because people didn't know the proper ones to get to, right? So
it was a pretty bad experience. Like the multiplayer, like they had some good multiplayer games on PS3, but it was a pretty bad experience multiplayer wise for like social and whatnot. But
Resistance 2 was one of the best multiplayer experiences ever. Sorry though, continue.
Yeah,
Somebody's
Resistance
talking
was
and
fantastic.
someone's here right now. What am I hearing?
Sorry, there's like 5 people that just walked in my room. I'm sorry.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Taunt's about to get beat up.
Yeah. I know.
I don't know. Yeah, they just have no.
Mike.
What?
What's your favorite memory from the Xbox 360?
Getting his stupid fucking cousins to shut the fuck up. No, but I actually have no idea who's in Twan's room. Twan might be getting robbed right now for all
Sorry,
I know.
I'm just.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, you're trying to get them that. I get you. Yeah. My favorite memory, Twan's getting mugged. That's
Twan's getting robbed, and he's just like, sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys.
No, but my favorite memory, probably when I first got internet access and I boot up Call of Duty World at War. That shit blew my mind. I played online on the 360 beforehand. It'd be like my cousin, friend's house or something like that. But the playing World at War online for the first time, and I even remember the map, but I can't remember the map name. It was a really cool map. It was on the Eastern Front. There's tanks in it, and it's not the one that was in the campaign mission. It was a completely different map, and it's gonna drive me nuts. Anyways, yeah, but that was probably my favorite experience.
lockout.
Wait, I just assume most of your guys' first experience playing an online game was probably on the 360. I'd imagine, right? I mean, I'm assuming most of you guys didn't use an OG Xbox to play online.
You have to go a little back further, Twan, to know what my first online experience was.
Well, my friend had
Count-
Xbox Live, and I
Yeah.
played Halo
Counter-Strike
2 on
1.6
the original.
was
Oh,
my
yeah?
first online experience, Twan.
Mhm.
Not Xbox. That
'Cause
and
I know-
Half-Life.
Because I know a lot of people, at least back in like when I had friends that had the OG Xbox, most of them had no idea even how to set up that shit, right? It was just way too complicated. Oh, you had to plug into the internet, it was just, a lot of people didn't have that. And probably, it wasn't really.
We couldn't afford internet until my teens. I had to
Yeah,
go
like it was
play
very
online
complicated. Like, at first, it was like very complicated. Like 360 was like the first one to really kind of very simplified. Have Wi-Fi, all that's kind of good, fancy stuff too, right? So.
The
Yeah,
the 360 was the first console that I had in my house that I had internet access on. Like I could
Yeah.
play online.
Mhm.
But like even before, like probably on PC with stuff like I don't know which Quake it would have been. It would have been like late 90s. But like
Mhm.
Quake and Unreal Tournament and stuff like that.
They play on PC.
Yeah, my friend's mom was into gaming and she had a PC, which is ironically also the place I played Halo C for the first time. They had the Halo C trial.
Yeah, it's because
downloaded
it's
on
crazy.
there.
Like most people assume that the OG Halo got Xbox Live support, but it didn't. That game actually didn't.
No, it didn't.
The OG
Was
Xbox.
that
Which
the
stinks because they really wanted to.
Yeah, because
Was
I mean,
that
like,
the one, Matt, where when you quit Halo, you has like Sergeant Johnson, whatever his name is,
Yeah.
saying like, "Are you gonna buy the game?"
well, that's the
Yeah,
demo. Yeah, that was the
He
demo.
tells, that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's what it
Yeah.
was. That's what
Yeah,
I
that's
was
what it
playing.
was.
It was because the demo, or they called it
Yeah.
the trial, but like it was the silent cartographer mission, which,
Yeah.
if you know, that's probably the greatest mission Halo's ever done. Period. And like I remember playing that, and then I had to go home and tell my dad. I was like, "Dad, I just played this game
Yeah.
that like blew my mind." And and I remember not long after that, he got, I guess one of his coworkers or something had like an extra Xbox that he was going to get for his son, but his son didn't want it. He wanted the PlayStation. And I got the Xbox, and my dad got me Halo, and I was fucking hooked. I was fucking hooked.
And he's been a bot since.
I legit have. Some points, at times a worse bot than others. I don't mention much of my early Xbox One antics online. I was a terrible person. I was a very bad. I was a very, very bad person online.
Fucking piece of shit like a PlayStation. Go fuck yourself.
That was pretty much my mentality online. I was a terrible, awful fanboy.
That's funny. We have a joke.
Please tell me you still have those tweets up. Please tell me you have those tweets up still.
They might still be. I have to find. They're not on that Twitter, the one that I use now. They wouldn't be on that Twitter. They would be. I have to find the name of the. I think it was. I think my name on there was like my gamer tag at the time was like. I can't remember, but like I know it's on Twitter somewhere, and I'd have to find it. But if I found it, I'm sure I'd find a lot of tweets that were just me being a hardcore fanboy. So that's out there. If anybody can find that, good luck, because I don't even remember my name on there.
Oh man, I paid money for someone to show me that.
So I want to talk about something about this though. What is the implications on like buying things digitally though, and like games preservation? I think that's a real important topic to touch upon.
Yeah, I think with Xbox it's interesting because they've done this whole thing. They're I don't know if you would say it's their branding, but like a big part of their branding ever since the middle of the Xbox One gen has been, hey guys, we're leaning like pretty heavy into backwards compatibility, which, people make the argument, and it's very valid and it's totally true, that the only reason they did that is because they fucking absolutely fumbled the start of the Xbox One. And the only way to get people back was to be like, sorry guys, we fucked up. Remember how we said, we can't do backwards compatibility? Well, we can. You fixed it. We can do that.
Figure it out.
We can totally do that. Please don't be mad at us anymore. But for like the future and everything, it. I think it's going to be weird, and I think it's going to change. Like if that question gets asked the next generation, I think the answer that I give will be different. But for now, I don't know. I'm cautious about I guess the implications it would have.
So just to give
Simply
a bit of background on this, from
yeah.
my understanding, the reason why the 360 store and like was even quote unquote, I guess you could say sunsetted in the way it was outside of licensing is because of the way they stored things on its digital. Like it wasn't able to be folded into how Microsoft handles their digital storefront now. Like apparently
Mm,
that's one of the reasons. I'm not saying it's an excuse, but it is like they
yeah.
can't fold it in into like the overall like they were able to fold in certain games because they had to, make an get the emulator for it, and then they can make the clouds from the 360 save sync and yada 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 yada. So they can like
Yeah.
make it kind of back at half-ass like that. It's still if it works, it works. But that's kind of one of the reasons as to why the three. I don't think we'll see a sunsetting of the One or Series X generation unless Xbox stops making consoles or something like that. But even then, it's like it'd be kind of pointless to even sunset. But to
Yeah.
me,
That's a good point,
it
actually.
it really bothers me though to say that we have all of these games that are just trapped on on console just in general, and it's not like an issue that's only on console, but there's some games
Mhm.
that are digital only on console, and now their
Yeah.
stores are going to be down, and you
Mhm.
literally can't play that game ever again
I
unless
mean, the
somebody
only
gets an
way you
emulator
could
for
really
it.
do it is if you just mod the console right at that point, or
Yeah,
you emulate it, right? That's really the only option. So yeah, I
and that's
mean,
the
like
thing
to be
is,
fair, I don't like. I feel like people are a bit dramatic when they say like, "Oh, a digital only game is like, oh, it's bad for preservation." Because at the end of the day, I don't think like I know because I know a lot of people think physical copies is preserves games, right? At the same time, it's like, does it really? I mean, realistically, as long as the data is stored on a hard drive and it's shared through the internet, in my opinion, that's preserved. Like that game is not going to be lost media as long as that is on the internet.
that's fair.
Because I mean, I feel like for example, let's say if a game was only released physically and you could never back that up on a hard drive and you can never share it on the internet, that has a bigger risk of being lost forever because that isn't
Mhm.
stored on the internet. It's not being stored on a hard drive because at the end of the day, these physical games could only live so long, right? They're gonna rot eventually. They'll break down. They're not built to last 1,000 years or 200 years. Eventually, they're gonna go away, right? So it's
Yeah.
better to have the stuff preserved on the internet, on hard drives. In my opinion, that's more preservation than the game getting a physical release. Because at the end of the day, you know, these physical copies are the physical copies like there's only so many of them too because eventually sometimes the prices get marked up and like there's games for example on the Saturn they're over $1,000 like you're gonna call that game preserved. Oh yeah, just buy the game for $1,000. It's like really like this because people are just gonna go pirate that instead. Like that game might as well be delisted at that point if it's like $1,000. So
I'll tell you what, Swan. I'm surprised to hear this coming from you, but
Yeah, I
I
mean, at the
totally
same
agree
time,
with
it's
it.
like, yeah, I mean, I'm like, I'm obviously a physical guy, but at the same time, I actually, I look at the whole picture, right? Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, physical. No, I'm going to actually like, look at look at everything at an unbiased perspective. Actually, look at things objectively, because at the end of the day, it's like, I don't want to lie to myself, right? This is just the reality of things, like just
Yeah.
right? So at the end of the day, all these games are on hard drives. Most of these games are on websites. They're being downloaded, they're being shared. So yeah, unless the internet goes down, I mean, at that point, we have bigger problems than video games.
Yeah.
The
We
internet goes
got
down,
way
right?
bigger problems if the whole
So
fucking grid
yeah, I
goes
think we're
down.
honestly like to say these games are going to be lost media. Like that's being dramatic. I'm sorry, like that's not going to happen. Like these games are going to be shared till the end of the time. Like for example, the Wii Shop channel has been closed for like over 5 years at this point, and I could easily download the games that are only released on the Wii Shop channel on the internet, and I could just put an SD card in, and boom, I could play it on my modded Wii. Like, right? See, like that game's not lost media, right? It's hard. Of course, I can't obtain it legally, right? but
And
I
that's
could
kind
still,
of though
it's
where
still,
like,
it's
and
still
I agree
accessible
with
media,
you. It's
right?
not lost, but
Yeah,
the fact you have to go through all these hoops for these
that does
corporations
suck,
or
right? But that's just the reality of things with licensing and all
it
that kind
is
of
the
stuff. So,
reality of it, but at the same time though, that also doesn't make it
yeah,
right. And I'm
yeah,
not saying you're wrong, and I'm not saying absolutely everything can be 100% preserved. Like I get that, and I'm not saying like, oh my god, this game got taken off the digital store because it had 3 seconds of like some song in it, and it got like I
yeah,
get it, shit's gonna happen, and I understand that shit's gonna happen, but it kind of gets to like a point where it's like, fuck, you could just download a Nintendo game you can't buy or play in any single type of way, and it's like Nintendo can fucking ruin your entire life if they
yeah.
found out you got a copy of that illegally. And it's just, it's like I feel like you have to go through so many weird legal hoops for some
Mhm.
of it that it's just like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like, and I think it comes less down to like, is it preserved more to is this right? Is it
At the
right that
same
we
time,
have
I
to
feel
go
like
through all this?
I could feel like maybe the laws could be changed in a way so it can make an exception to preserve games so they're always, accessible for purchase. Like I feel like that could be like a thing that could be changed with like, I don't know, just like for a law thing, right? Because I
Yeah,
know, they can't legally sell the games because, licensing issue, right? But like
yeah,
maybe there could be a law in place where it's like, no, as long as this thing is made, it has to be sold. Like, like right. I'm sure things could be changed where, that can make those games more accessible because at the end of the day, right, licenses is a big one, right? Like that's like the number one reason why games usually get delisted is usually licensing issues, right? So but
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, I don't know, I feel like some, obviously, with consoles, these old consoles, like there's only so much you could really do now because they're made so long ago. It's like there's you can't get an SNES cartridge to work on a Switch, right? It's just not gonna happen, right? So it's just yeah, you just, I don't know. You
I
gotta
feel
just
like the
start from
laws have,
scratch.
if they're not going to start addressing these, the thing is though,
Yeah.
is it makes, I can excuse for the most part, like really 316 to Xbox One and Series X because they did address the issue. They merged all of the stores to be one
Yeah.
continuous thing now. They merged it all.
Mhm.
However, but like going forward though, I don't know if I can really be as lenient because you kind of get to a point because like when you think about like the Xbox 360 arcade stores kind of like the wild west of like kind of like once again you have Steam, but Steam isn't a rapidly changing like platform where oh yeah it's not going to work on this anymore. It's like that's a storefront you can just upload it and it's there. It's
Yeah.
just a place that holds shit. Um, but like with these, but like when they were uploading things to the 360 arcade, like nobody was worried about what's the new Xbox going to be. Will it work? They're like, I get that because like once again, you know, that's just not where their headspace was. I can't really blame the small random indie company, but like
Mhm.
going forward, like for example, if like Switch games aren't backwards compatible, like or even like the store, it's not even the same store anymore, or that store gets sunsetted. I'm sorry, there's no
Yeah.
excusing Nintendo for that.
Yeah.
I feel like they get way too much leniency in that department, and I'd gladly say if that shit gets sunsetted, when it will, it's probably going to,
Oh
but
yeah.
like I
Yeah.
don't know. But it's just like I feel like at the end of the day, it's like reasonably speaking, like yeah, it's not maybe the most rational thing in the world to think these stores will be up forever, right? I get that because
Yeah.
when you think about it, like what you might get one person getting these games a year, maybe, like maybe.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um,
Honestly.
but then you think of the fact that a lot of these companies make an ungodly amount of numbers, yeah, ungodly amount of money to the point of absurdity, and it's like you need to put a little more effort or like either change some rules around or something. You got to do something, because I feel like once again, like any day they might not be enforcing their current little rule about emulating or modding or this, but holy shit,
Oh
that
Sorry,
my
I
god.
accidentally hit
uh,
my little glass there. Sorry.
yeah, but that's just my take on it though. Like, yeah, I don't think it's lost media. It's
Yeah,
more
Lost
contained.
Media is really being dramatic.
Yeah, it's not like lost unless
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's like some weird fucking game no one ever heard of, like Ass Scratcher on the Xbox Indie Store or something.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
Ass
like no
Blaster
one actually,
Master.
or that I don't know, some
Um,
game that just no one cared about on the
yeah,
PS.
right. Like I
You
wouldn't
know.
call it lost. It's more so like you know being held accountable for like your consumer and like what you sell them and
Yeah.
et cetera. That's just my take though.
I
Mhm.
think you earlier also raised a point specifically pertaining to Xbox. like the way that, because the way that Xbox Series consoles and Xbox One are kind of the same, like very much the same, like in terms of like the UI, the OS, and
Yeah.
like I go to the store on the Xbox One, just like
And
I go to the
PC, it's
store.
all one.
Yeah, just like I go to the store on the Series consoles. I think the way that Microsoft does it is so, I guess, well integrated that it would be hard to imagine. And I think you also said this, a scenario where they just randomly up and decide, we're gonna close, a storefront because like the way their stuff is merged, it's like, I mean, unless they do something wildly drastic with one of, however many generations we have left for consoles, like unless they do something wildly drastic, I don't. I mean, it would be hard to imagine that that store wouldn't be integrated into whatever we have now. Like it would all just
Yep.
be one thing.
It's
So
less work. It's less work when you get a proper integration, and that's why they
yeah.
put all that effort into doing so.
So I think honestly, and that's a good point that I didn't even really think about. I think in the case of Microsoft, I don't think they're exempt from like hey, you don't have to worry about game preservation on Microsoft ever. But I think of all places right now, they're the lead. They're like, of all big publishers with platforms, they're the one I'm least worried about when it would come to game preservation. I mean, I know PlayStation's kind of they're trying to start doing it. I know like the PS4 and the PS5
Yeah, like I'm confident
pretty,
PS4 will stick around
yeah,
for a while.
yeah. It's just we got to see what happens because they don't have the history. Well, you could argue. I guess the PS3 kind of fucked up their history when it
And
came to backwards
PS3
compatibility.
was also like Funk City with the cell processor, right? And it was just hard to
Yeah.
make that shit compatible with the PS4.
So we'll see. I mean, I think game preservation has a decent, even if it's digitally, I think it has a decent future.
Well, not only
And
that, but I feel like a lot of games nowadays are also being re-released a lot more than they used to be. Like we're getting a lot of re-releases, a lot of ports, like more than we've
yeah,
ever had in any generation. Like it's so. I mean, a lot of these games that were trapped on old consoles are getting, they're getting re-released, right? So
yeah.
there's that as well.
So yeah, I mean, I think I'm not too worried about game preservation
Yeah.
at the moment, and I think by
There's
the
even games that we thought would never get re-released, like Scott Pilgrim versus the World, right? That was a game that got delisted a long time ago, and people were all like, "Oh, digital's bad," right? And then obviously that got re-released on Xbox, Switch, PS4, even got a physical
sure.
release after, right? That's just one example, obviously, right? But
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it. I think eventually, things will change, and whatever those changes are, I mean, we'll see what happens. I think honestly, what ends up happening, I think everything that we know console wise probably just merges into PC.
yeah. I mean, yeah,
And I
worst
don't
case
think
scenario, that's what I could see Xbox doing, where it's like, oh,
oh,
we're not,
I mean,
Xbox is for
Xbox
sure
has
gonna,
the whole thing
yeah, they're
set
for
up.
sure gonna for sure do that.
yeah,
But
let's bring it
I'm
into
talking
PC,
like I'm talking consoles as a whole,
yeah.
like in general. I think obviously Nintendo will be the last one to do it. They're going to hold
Yeah,
out because they're
yeah, they'll
Nintendo,
stick
and
around till the bitter end,
exactly
Yeah,
they can because
yeah,
that's what people know them for. But like
yeah,
as far as like Xbox, like Mike said, that like that framework's already in place for them to do that.
yeah.
PlayStation, they're behind on it, but they're
They're
starting to.
working. They're working on it. Yeah,
Yeah, they're starting to put the work in to make that a thing.
yeah.
So it's like, and I don't think it's going to happen like anytime soon, as in like I certainly don't think it's going to be a next generation thing, and I don't think it will be even a generation after that thing. But I think eventually, say in the next 20 years, like most consoles, with the exception of Nintendo, will be
Well, to be
just
fair, I feel like
fully
Nintendo's
integrated with PC.
like in defense of Nintendo, I feel like they are trying to go in that direction too. Because I mean, like, let's say the Switch 2 comes out, it's fully backwards compatible with the regular Switch. Like, I feel like that will, give the Switch's previous storefront more life. Because like if it's
That
backwards
would be
compatible,
cool.
yeah. Because
That
and
would
not
be
only
nice.
that, actually, I don't know if you knew about this, but the Wii and the Wii U, they didn't actually have accounts that you would sign into. Like you'd actually like the account would be, it would be specific to the console itself. It was like really bad the
Yeah.
way they used to do it. Like that was up until the Wii U and the 3DS. But luckily, after the Switch came out, everything was tied to your actual account instead, which was like obviously the way it should be, right? So at least
I mean,
now,
you'd hope that the
yeah,
Switch's store would work on the Switch too. I mean, you'd kind of hope
yeah.
literally the same console but more strong would work.
It
But
So
would
yeah,
be wild.
hopefully Nintendo like goes in that direction too. Like if the Switch 2 is fully backwards compatible, who knows? Maybe the Switch 3 will even be fully backwards compatible, right? And
It
maybe
would
I'll
be
carry the legacy,
wild
right? So it really
if
depends on the architecture and like how they actually
what, Matt?
change the system.
it'd
So
be wild if we got to the Switch 2 and it was handled exactly how like the current Xbox handled the last like Metroid Prime's coming out.
yeah.
And they just said, okay, well, we got Metroid Prime, but here comes the Switch 2. What we're gonna do, and I don't see Nintendo doing this, but it would be so fucking cool if they did. What we're gonna do is we'll just get your copy of Metroid Prime and we'll upgrade it for you
Yeah,
for free.
that's a curious thing. I wonder if Metroid Prime 4 is gonna have a separate release for the Switch 2 version, if you could actually just like if it's
See,
gonna be a smart, like a smart delivery thing
I
situation.
hope it's a smart delivery thing, but knowing Nintendo, I mean, look at what
Oh
they
yeah.
did with not Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild. It's like
Yeah.
I think history tells us what they're
Well,
gonna
to be fair, I
do.
mean, like the Wii U, I mean, the Switch obviously wasn't backwards compatible with the Wii U, and it was like very different
Sure,
formats
that's
too,
true.
right?
That's very
So
true.
hopefully they could prove us wrong. Like I wouldn't count on it, but I think I'd say there's like a 30% chance they'll do that. Like, there is
It would
definitely a
be
chance.
so cool for
Yeah.
them to do. That would be like
Nintendo's
the
hiring
coolest thing they
lawyers
can
right
do.
now
Yeah.
to sue you guys for even thinking that. So
Yeah.
they're ready to ruin your life for even suggesting that. You're ready
Yeah.
for it, buds.
Yeah.
Don't worry,
But
Nintendo, you're
I,
great.
I think there's a chance
Yeah, right.
that
You
like
can
there'll
sue
be like a Switch 2 upgrade or something, or Switch 2
I
patch.
do
So
apologize, Mr. Nintendo.
yeah.
But yeah, like that would be like the most ideal thing. Like especially for something like I
Metroid
still
Prime 4,
haven't
which Metroid Prime 4 is definitely going to be the big game that releases on the
dude,
Switch 2.
Metroid Prime 4 is what my like I'm so like that's easily
Oh yeah,
hands
QuakeCon.
down, not even close my most anticipated thing from Nintendo ever.
Yeah.
Like it's not even close. That's my most anticipated thing from Nintendo like ever.
Like if you heard that the Switch 2 was going to release with Metroid Prime 2, would you even bother getting like the regular Switch? Like
Well, I
if
already
Sony
have a
released
regular
it?
Switch.
I'm just saying, like if like let's go back in time and say, and
Oh, like
obviously
you're
like
saying
we thought Metro Prime 4 was going to release on the Switch like back in like maybe like 2018 or 2019, right? But obviously it got delayed. Like if someone told you, oh, it's going to get delayed until like the Switch 2, like would you have even bothered with the Switch one?
So the reason I got the Switch, which is hilarious because it's now what I use my Steam Deck for.
Yeah.
The reason I got the Switch was because when they showed it off originally, they had a dude playing Skyrim on like a
Oh
plane.
yeah,
I'm
the
like,
Skyrim. That's
and I'm
it.
like, holy shit, I can play Skyrim anywhere I
The
go.
Skyrim was the system seller.
And then, and as soon as I saw that, I was like, I fucking need to get this thing. And then, fast forward years later, I have a Steam Deck and I can do that. And
with
I can,
both mods now. Yeah.
yeah, with mods and at double the frame rate.
Yeah.
So, but
From
like
15 to 30. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right. Although Skyrim is weird on Steam Deck, like it like if you let it run at 60, it will use a lot of it'll use a lot of power.
Yeah.
It will like
I can
use like
imagine.
25 watts of power.
It's probably
if you
hitting
let it
that
run.
CPU hard, I imagine.
It could be, honestly.
But I mean, I'm pretty sure it runs better than on the Switch.
Oh, it runs way better. Like I said, double the frame rate. It's from 30 to 60.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, who knows? Who knows what
Well,
Nintendo's going
the
to
version on Switch, was that just like pretty much just the regular Skyrim, or was it the special edition that released on like PS4 and Xbox One?
It wasn't the special edition. It
Yeah.
was
Was there
it was
some unique
basically
version?
Skyrim with all the
Yeah.
DLCs.
Okay, yeah.
Although I do think, you know what, it might have been the special edition, but I think even when Digital Foundry talked about it, they were like, "This isn't like that's not what this is." Because I'm pretty sure, like when you boot it up on Switch, it says Skyrim Special Edition, but
Right.
that's not really
It's probably just some unique version that they made on the Switch. I think. You know?
I think it is because like there's like Digital Foundry even talked about like there's areas where it's even worse than it was on the 360.
That's
So it's
hysterical.
like
I love that.
so
That
like
would
yeah, I don't think it's a special edition, but you know it was cool. It was cool when they initially showed it,
Yeah.
and then like you know, Breath of the Wild. I was kind of into that for a little bit.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
that
like
was it.
that was a power move when Nintendo showed off Skyrim for the Switch because like like Nintendo never got Bethesda games on their consoles before that. You know, like obviously
That's
the Wii
true.
never got anything. The Wii didn't
That's
really get
true.
anything. That was like the first time a Bethesda game was like advertised on a Nintendo console. It's crazy to think about that. You know?
It's wild that they got Skyrim on the Switch and they never bothered to like
Yeah, where's Fallout 3 on there?
get Fallout 3 on
Yeah.
the Switch or
Yeah.
I mean Oblivion. You get Oblivion on a Switch.
Yeah.
I mean,
On Switch would have been pretty cool.
Like
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I wouldn't play it there because I'd have it
Yeah.
on Steam. But like, you know, tons of people
I'm
would.
pretty sure it's still the only console. Fucking what was the one before Oblivion?
Morrowind.
Yeah, I'm surprised that has only been released on Xbox as far as consoles go. Like it's never been released anywhere else.
I don't think. Well, with the way PlayStation handles things now, I don't like. I think if you suggested it, hey, PlayStation, you want a port of Morrowind, they'd probably laugh. At this, they'd probably just laugh at this point. But you know, that is true. Only like the only like
is Xbox. Like it's the only
is
console
Xbox.
released on. So,
which is nuts.
Yeah.
Dude, I tried playing. Mike knows I tried playing that game.
You can do it
like via backwards compatibility,
Yeah.
and it's
What
like
game was it?
Morrowind.
Yeah,
and I remember looking up like guides and stuff, and I just typed in Morrowind on Google, and it was like Elder Scrolls Morrowind, and it was like the best looking RPG of all time. It was like from an article from like 2002, and I'm like, oh my god. And it looks like ass, right? Like it looks so bad.
It's charming in a way, honestly. Like
if I played it back in the day, I'd probably have so much nostalgia for it, and I'd probably love it so much.
Yeah,
but
you know me, I play old games, so I find graphics like that charming. You know, it's just
dude.
The graphics, yeah, but
shooters that look like they're from like 1940. So it's like, I mean, like, it's not the graphics.
It's not the graphics for Morrowind. It's more the gameplay. Like walking forward drains your stamina, whether you're sprinting or not. And then you got to just kind of stand still.
Yeah.
Or you got to like do a thing where you half walk by like slightly moving the thumbstick forward. And you got to just. You just got to do that the whole game.
It was actually pretty crazy how that game they got that game to even boot up on the OG Xbox. Because apparently, like that game actually like the way they got it to work on the OG Xbox, like it has to the whole system got through like a full reboot every time it actually loaded or something.
Yeah,
it
was like a really weird way they got it to run on the OG Xbox, but it was like they got it working, you know. But it was like very complicated apparently.
It's impressive. The original Xbox was super. Just hardware wise.
I mean, it was a beast. Even like Doom 3 was a very impressive port as well on the OG Xbox.
Dude, Doom 3, like I mean, granted, it's like a a port, but like the Doom 3 that's available on Xbox One and PS4, like that today looks still really good.
Yeah, but honestly, I kind of preferred the OG Xbox version of
I'm
Doom 3 over the even the BFG edition, because like I don't know, they make some changes in the BFG edition I'm not too fond of, Like they made it a lot easier. Like the thing I liked about the OG Doom 3 is like you have to like separately take out the flashlight if you wanted light, and then you have to like switch to a gun after, because like in the BFG edition you could just like turn the light on whenever you want and you can still shoot. And like I feel like it kind of removes an element to the game when you could like when you can't have both, right? Because you could only have one or the other. It's like, you want to light or do you want to shoot? Like you can only have one or the other, which was really nice.
Yeah.
Like I kind of miss that element of the game, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Womp womp. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I don't have any memories with the OG. Well, I take that back. My memory with the OG Doom 3 was I saw the case at like it wasn't a Blockbuster, but it was like a pretty much, we'll just say it was a Blockbuster. I was like, that looks cool.
Yeah.
And then we rented it. I took it home. I played it for maybe 5 minutes, and it terrified the fuck out of me. And I never played it again.
Yeah, that game. I remember me and my friend, my brother. Yeah, it was me, my friend, my brother, and he had an OG Xbox, and we had a copy of Doom 3, and we're kind of like all huddled on the TV, like ooh, like we're all like scared, right? And like every time something would happen, you would always you'd always like start yelling. It was it was such a cool time because we're all young, right? And it was just like whoa, we're playing a scary game, right?
But that terrified the shit out of me. That was
yeah. But
that was probably the scariest game I ever played until I started playing things like Dead Space.
Yeah.
And which is hilarious because looking back on it, like going back to play it, it's not really scary at all. It's kind of suspenseful, but it's not scary, really.
And also another cool thing about Doom 3 on OG Xbox I want to bring up is that it's the only version of the game that actually has co-op in the story mode. Like the PC version didn't even actually have co-op, but like the OG Xbox version added that, and through Xbox Live you could do that, which is really cool. But I was kind of salty that they never added that, and even in the BFG edition they removed that as well. So it is what it is. But that was a cool feature that they got rid of for some reason. So, but it was OG Xbox. The OG Xbox was just a fantastic console. I love that thing.
I have a subject.
What's the subject?
I didn't realize
Let him go.
Gamescom is actually happening this year. And apparently it's happening in early August. I did not Gamescom. Wasn't it QuakeCon?
Oh, QuakeCon. Okay.
Yeah. I didn't realize it is happening this year, and it says it'll be August 8th to the 11th. Not Gamescom. Sorry about that. So I am really, really, really hoping we get a little something Doom: The Dark Ages.
I imagine it'd be something about Doom in that show.
Something about Halo Infinite 2 there as well.
Or maybe they'll actually bring up Quake. Ooh, that'd be crazy,
I probably should just bring up Halo, honestly.
Yeah, no one wants
I
it.
feel like the place is called QuakeCon, but they haven't talked about Quake in probably like over 5 years.
No one should talk about Quake.
I agree. That's why I should talk about Halo.
I hate you. Anyway,
bring back Master Chief.
He's dead.
Oh, he's not.
Well, he might as well be out. Microsoft.
Oh, yeah, then they canceled the show, right?
They sure did cancel that show, and I tell you what, it doesn't surprise me because that's what happens when you don't follow the source material. Nobody watches your show, and it's not good. And I feel bad because I guess apparently the second season was good. It's just it's not a Halo show. Like it has the Halo name, but it's not anything that anybody like. You just made up a story. You just made up a story when the story was already there for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just especially when the story that's already there is so fucking ridiculously good. I don't know why you wouldn't. Last of Us did it, and that did really well. So it's like, I don't know. That whole situation is so stupid. And I guess apparently they're going to try shopping it around, so it's not technically dead until it's technically dead. But it's like, who's gonna give them money for that? Is my question. Because I don't know. I don't know who's doing that. But good luck to them. I wish we wish them well, for sure. But I don't know. Is there anything else to talk about?
I mean, I feel like we're definitely missing something.
There's also, I mean, Mike mentioned it briefly by accident, but Gamescom is coming up this
Gamescom
month, and I guess the only reason I'm looking forward to that, I guess apparently we might hear some new things from Xbox. I wouldn't expect.
Well, I was hearing some rumors that apparently their Xbox was like, man, we had so many games we couldn't even fit them in our showcase, so we're gonna bring them.
Well,
Gamescom instead. Like
this is quote unquote their biggest Gamescom ever. But the only reason I'm really interested in this is because, I mean, I'm assuming we would get some dates for the stuff that's coming this year.
I mean, we still don't have a date for Avowed, right? Like,
no, we don't. That's why
no date for Indiana Jones either. It's like, yeah, what's going on here? You know, it's like,
but they keep insisting that they're coming out this year. Like every chance they get, they're like, hey, it's coming out this year, but like we don't know the date. So it's like I would assume that at this Gamescom event, this biggest Gamescom in Xbox history, we should have a date for both of those. But we'll see. But yeah, I'll probably still have stream that, honestly. I don't even know when the date of that is. I think it's like the 25th. So late August. Look out for that. But I don't think I have anything else here to talk about topics wise.
Well, let me think.
We're not gonna fill this with dead air. Let's get into the outros.
Yeah, let me think. Don't worry, okay, yeah, we're done. Anyways, you can find me here next Monday when we do the show, absolutely, and that's where I'll be. And Juan, what about you?
So yeah, you could find me on this show. You could also find me on Twitter. You can find me on Discord. I got I got my Sega Dreamcast, my Sega Saturn Net links set up. You know, maybe we could do some matches on those systems because like there's a whole like the Sega. Check out the Sega Saturn Shiro Discord because like we set up matches there. If any of you guys are real gamers, get a Sega Saturn Net link and we'll link up, play some Saturn Bomberman together.
Where can we find you, Matt?
You can find me here every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, as well as Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern for the Two Player Podcast of myself and Ham Solo. Fridays on Ham and Loke's channel, TSWS Gaming. The link to that is in the description. I'm on that channel Fridays at 4 p.m. Eastern for Bull Sitting with myself, Loke, Cozy, Ham, and Mental 9R. Sometimes we have a guest on there as well, so it's a fun time. Check that out. And then videos every Monday and Friday here on the channel. So look for that stuff. That's where you can find me, though. What about you, Twan?
Well, I think didn't I already talk? Didn't I already say where you can find me?
I don't think you did.
Mike cut me off. I think. You don't remember that?
It's me, Twan. It's me, Twan, on Twitter. You can follow him there.
Wait! I swear to God, I said my whole outro. I swear to God.
You did.
Well,
then he started talking about the Dreamcast, and I said, wrap up.
Then he cut it.
I was like, "Yep, we're good."
You don't remember that? Okay.
Mike.
Okay, I was like,
got anything to say?
I thought it was.
Just find me next week here.
All right. I just want to know if you wanted to add anything, Mike.
You're the best. That's what I want to add.
Thank you very much. We're going to get up out of here. We will see you all next week. Goodbye.